Welcome back to AM Northwest. You know, while there are a lot of advantages to getting older, it can sometimes be hard to embrace the changes our bodies face. Here to share some important ways to stay active and engaged physically and mentally, we welcome back our confidence coach, Laure Redmond. Good to see you.
It's so good to be here.
This is really a valuable topic, I think, especially for women as we age, because we seem to pay attention to every little thing, you know. We point it out to our friends. How
it's
did
so
this
true.
happen? Yeah.
We're focusing on the wrong things because physically we can be here in a much more proactive, positive mindset.
Right.
But often where we get stuck is thinking of what we were before when we were younger.
Right. Like don't you think sometimes we compare ourselves to when we were in our 20s or early 30s? Yeah.
And I think that's such a bad idea because no one gets to go back.
No.
And actually, darn it. But we forget that as we get older, there are all these physical options that we might have liked when we were younger, but we have to alter how we do them.
Yeah.
You know, I started working with you when I was in my 30s. Now I'm in my 60s, but I've stayed active the whole way.
What does this picture remind you of?
That's when I started working here.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that was when I was in my 30s. Yes, very young.
You had the book out.
Feel Good Naked.
Feel Good Naked. Okay.
And I still feel good naked. This is good because I can tell you in my 60s, which is that picture, I feel more embodied now than I even did then. But I've made a lot of alterations. You know, I don't run anymore. I walk.
Right.
I still dance every week, but slower. So as you get older, if there are physical activities that you loved when you were younger, make little just alterations. Go from high impact to low impact.
Gotcha.
Do things anyway. Don't stop doing them because you can't do them as well as you did when you were in your 30s.
Good point. Good point. Foods matter more right now, right?
Well, I've been on this journey to figure out really health foods that I like, not the cruciferous vegetables, which we hear. I like some of those, but I've been so excited by finding out about lentils and chickpeas and beans and nuts, walnuts, berries, and some green leafy things, but I've learned how to massage my kale, which is a lot better than the way I used to try to eat it.
Right.
So go on this little journey with your own nutritional choices as you're getting older, because it's a lot tastier than I ever knew. It's not just broccoli.
Right.
It can be chickpeas or lentils or berries. And to me, that's opened up a whole new world of eating that's actually helping my belly, my probiotics, things that are really useful for the gut and taste good.
What about friends? I mean, friends are super important, right?
Well,
as we get older,
I think connection and belonging.
Okay.
That is one of the most important parts about being embodied, is having something you regularly do with other people. Yeah. I have 2 things I do every week with groups of people, and it makes me feel so much more peaceful, alive, also just relevant. You know, when everybody's doing something together, whether it's a meetup or it's a hike, or for me it's this little Buddhist Sangha, we're connecting and we're belonging to something. Yeah. That is probably one of the biggest treats to being embodied, is to put yourself in a group setting every week, connecting with others.
It is.
It can be friends or it can be a group.
Right. Gotcha. Challenge your inner critic, you say. We both have pretty big inner critics.
I know.
I know you, and you have a big inner critic. Yeah. And I do too.
And she can get louder and louder as I get older.
Yeah.
But what I'm learning to do is to work with her. Because the critic, like you were saying, will say the arms are fat, the belly sticks out, the chin is multiplied. Yeah. I don't want to get surgery to alter any of it. Right. So how do I work with it? So I've been really working with my inner critic as a buddy. Like, I've been trying to be her friend and say, like, well, hey, you like food more now than you used to. That's good. That means you're nutritionally feeding yourself. I give her little tips, not so much the barrage of what she doesn't like so much. Right. So I give her her own personality, and I treat her like a friend. And this is how we work in the IFS system, which is internal family systems. You give that voice a personality so you can work with that voice and be kinder and more loving.
Tell me about the focused breathing. That's important to you.
Well, I think we all have a tendency to get more compulsive and obsessive in our thinking as we age. So when we take 3 breaths, just 3 mindful breaths, that right away puts you into your body.
Sure.
It takes you out of some of the compulsive thinking that will really take you down the wrong road. It creates more anxiety, more stress, more focusing on the future, thinking about the past. 3 breaths are just this perfect way to get grounded, and then to strengthen your inhale, exhale.
Yeah.
So you can do a longer inhale, a longer exhale, but you have to practice to get that length and that strength.
And that somehow kind of wakens up your system, I've noticed when we've done that.
Does it?
Lastly, it's never too late to begin, you say.
I'm about to start water aerobics. I've never done that.
Yeah.
I don't know how it'll go.
It'll go well. You'll love it.
It's something new.
Yeah.
So don't do the excuse, it's too late. I'm too old. I've never been active. Start now.
Right.
Start today. Start seated. It's always an option. So don't Debbie down yourself.
Right.
Encourage
Don't listen
yourself.
to that inner critic.
No. No more.
Yeah, no more. Laure, thank you so much.
Oh, have a great weekend.
You too.